Hello, everyone. I think you're really going to like this. I've been doing a lot of work on my editing and other things. I know people have other HD cameras and whatnot, but every once in a while, my camera takes a great picture. I know what you're thinking. It looks like another backyard picture, but I have a really incredible story to share with you of how I caught dwarves, elves, and a lady of the forest, all within this magical picture. Courtesy of Colorado Bigfoot I was following, I had done some videograph, and in this video, you are definitely going to see some pictures of things in the background. So let's go ahead and get started. On this beautiful day, I'd walked to the end of a trail, and I was sitting on top of a platform at the end. There is I think a restaurant parking lot on the right hand side. So there's a platform and the little small walking trail descends. And I was watching Colorado Bigfoot, and I had got the whole spiel. Believe me, I pay attention to what people tell me. So I am going to repeat a lot of things that he'd asked me to do in case I had come up with something. Well, was doing a New Zealand guy that had done a similar photo where he turned his back and took a photograph, just like how I am doing in here in this picture. But what you are about to see are the photographs of the items in here, and we're going to do some crop and zooming, and I'm going to show you my videograph project because you're about to see this guy here, the gnome. Now, I don't know if you can see him firsthand. He is in this picture. There are several other ones in here, and we're going to go into great detail about how all this is all connected into one thing. So, let's go ahead and take a look at him so I can show you what we are going to see. And I don't know if you can see him just yet, but take a look. Clear, right? Now what we're looking at is the two black eyes in the middle. So as you can see, the two black eyes, there are about 3 or 4 creatures or entities or mysteries or paranormal things on here at least. But this is just one of them, and he is in my photograph. But before I go into him and show you the things around him and explain to you how all this, I want to go into my picture a little bit and just to show you. So luckily, I'm doing my projects, and Google was nice enough to save some of my photographs. And here's my elf guy. I no sooner had posted these on Facebook. I don't know if you can see him. Some call them little pixels or mongols or whatever. He's right in the middle of the stick formation thing. I can't wait to talk about him because there's some interesting things in this photograph. I wish I had the whole entire one. These are the zoom ins that I saved from trying to save space and whatnot. So as I go through some of these. There's also one that I'm going to be coming up with, the Lady of the Forest, and just look at her. It almost looks prettier than a lady in a freaking magazine, and I'm going to talk all about her coming up in my next special too. So it's really going to be exciting. This is a kind of like a new episode. If you can believe in things that I have been seeing in the paranormal, then you might just believe in me. Now, lately, what I've been saying is, for me, the whole thing is about the feelings and what you believe in, and it almost makes it seem like it is believable because if you know things and you're in the atmosphere. For example, I know how they're operating while they're in there, and then I start to hear them or something, and then I start to think that it's real, or I think I see them and other things. So it kind of leaves your mind open to other things. But this is like totally my view. Like I said, I have gotten a lot of information from people like Ryan on his stick structures originally, Colorado Bigfoot. I like this kind of stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and go into it, and you guys are really gonna like it. So here I am, right? And I'm sitting on the edge, and I decide to turn away and take a picture. Just the night before, I was watching Colorado Bigfoot. And he was talking about this guy in New Zealand, and he had caught another one where the thing was sitting under. I posted some on Facebook, and I think the next day he started charging for his videos on the Colorado Bigfoot. But anyway, the guy, he said his knowledge and everything else and how he looked to turn away. Though that day I just felt that way. You can see how clean I'm looking I am after work and just wanting to get out and just feeling it and everything else. And I just seeing this beautiful landscaping back here. And it's the whole thing is just a prop. So you guys are about to really, really freak out because the dwarf in the middle is just the beginning of the whole thing. So let's go ahead and show you. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on here. And this you're not going to see from anybody else that's going to do this the way that I'm going to be doing this. But I'm going to... Okay, continuing on to my awesome dwarf caught on video. You're going to love this videograph project where people zoom in and out. As I was explaining to you, I was watching a Colorado Bigfoot video, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and show you a few things. But the guy in the middle, I'm going to get into him in a second, and I'm going to show you some real ones. So I'm going to do a simple crop and zoom, and I am going to go into the right hand corner of the video. And what's really, really interesting about this one, it's just not only the sticks and the formations, but it's the fact that it's the fact that they're also in a totem pole. So I was told not to dare ever talk about this information unless I talk about the sticks and formations, and I'm going to do so. Those of you who follow Bigfoot don't think it's any big deal, but I'm going to go ahead and explain why those things got there. So in here on the right, the black guys, and there he is, you guys. Can you see him? See him? He's hugged right around that tree. You see the eyes on that thing with his look at that. Almost looks like it has hair sticking through the net. See those two big black eyes? That's what we got to look for in the nose. It's real distinct. And not only that, but his face is sticking out on the other side of the tree. And you see how white that tree is? See how much energy my phone had picked up off of that? I'm going to call all the way back here just to show you all that. I'm just, I'm in my normal living or, room setting doing a project, okay? So this guy's on the right. I'm already zoomed all the way out. I'm zooming in on my camera. But look down here at the whitetail. You see that? You see all those little black, like almost like it's like a tail or a sausage, kind of like cut off. It's like a stick that it's like collecting this energy, and you can see the whiteness in it, almost like a super white, like gleaming power, like zzz. At that day, the effervescence is really out. You can really see the greens and everything else. This guy's like getting some kind of energy over here. And it almost looks like some kind of device where that thing is just stuck in there and he's right there. But, it's going to get a lot better because right below this guy is his brother, and we have the totem pole, and this guy's even neater. So you think that guy's pretty cool up here, sticking on a tree? Here's the totem pole. Here's the next guy. And look at this guy. Looks like a Chinese monsoon wrestler. Look at this two big black guys here and here with a stick going down the front of its nose. Look at this hat. 3 or 4 sticks on top and coming out like a freaking Chinese, like sumo wrestler hat. Now, obviously, this guy also has 2 big black eyes in the middle. The 2 big black eyes in the nose. A nose, a mouth, a face or feature. He looks different. He is getting the stick and the formation, feeling it right up into the middle of his temple area, and also has some kind of like device, like almost like it's collecting energy that's coming down into it. And it's so much surreal. It's like a little ninja warrior over here on the side. His brother with his cattail right above him. But it even gets better because this is the totem pole. And I don't know if you can see him yet. You see him? Of course you can. He's right there. See the 2 big black guys? Look at that guy. You see his big old white face? Almost looks like Ghostbusters type. So right here we have one guy here. And the Sumeru guy, I like to get into a little bit more. I mean, he is just too cool. And look at them right here. And even like if you look at it real quick, it almost looks like another cat's eyes right down here. But and then this guy up above, right? So all these guys are on here in this picture that I have, and they're right over here on the right. So as I'm sitting there, this whole thing is staged, and there's this energy behind that, but only like I believe like almost like Sasquatches and other creatures could live amongst these things and only see them if this was the case in the way that it appears in this picture that real life people cannot see them. But I just felt a certain feeling, a certain way, and I was doing this on purpose. And sure enough, I caught these things. So right there, and the guy on the side and the one on the bottom. Okay, so we're doing pretty good so far, right? Well, let's just continue on and let's go to Mr. Banana Man over here. Now, Mr. Banana Man looks like something out of a video, and that's definitely not him. Let's see if we can find him. I see him already. He's actually right here in the middle. Okay, so if we're going to go ahead and get it down a little bit lower. He's above my head. And this one also has a lot to do with the sticks. And you can see him, his two black eyes, his mouth, and he looks like a big, tall banana guy. I mean, you can just see him clear as anything. But the thing is, like, you see the stick that's going right, like, around it and in front of him and everything else. So, okay, so you think, like, that's no bull. He's in the air or whatever. But if you see that stick again, it's some way connected up into them. Somehow, all these sticks, like the other day, I shot a Bigfoot video where all the roads was connected. And then before that, I saw where the sticks were connected to one stick to the next stick, but they didn't seem to make sense if somebody was building a road to do that, have to do that. But just look at up all the colors in here and the colossal. It's just beautiful. I'm so thankful that Google had saved this for me. I can take my cursor off of there just because it was looking ugly. But this is the third or fourth paranormal creature in this video. So as I'm talking about how they're drawing energy from the stick structures, we have one over here, Banana Man up here behind my head. We have these guys sitting right over here on the right looking at me, and his brother Ninja Warrior, and a guy up under the bush, and the other one down in here. You see him in there, his eyes? See his whole head in there? Right there. And I'm sure if I were to go down, I can see more and more. It's got a lot of color, and it just turned out great up towards the bottom. There might be a guy or two. I think there was another one I tried to research, but that's me. So I'm sitting there, and this is happening behind me. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here to the dwarf, or I like to refer to it as a dwarf because of the hat that it's wearing is very similar to the type of dwarf that you would put out there on your lawn. And you can see him now. He has a cross on the top up here. He has a cross on the top, but there's some more convincing things. It looks like a wizard, and again, two black eyes, a distinct nose. It almost looks like you can see a beard, his hair on the side, his arm, his robe, his whole thing. And look at this Y thing, like a special character that just seemed to be glowing. Well, he had mentioned in the Bigfoot videos, I know he is sometimes talks about other things, but if you can keep your mind open, I had to expand on some of those, is a chloroform type of magic power. As you can see, these things seem to be drawing some kind of energy from the light as this white thing, like a magical type of symbol that you would almost see like on a magician's cloak, and maybe some other ones, some 2, 4, and something that's like part of his little ceremony. Even he has some kind of stick he seems to be drawing energy from. But the real energy is right down here in the middle. And just look at that, how powerful that is, right? Look at that power energy. And this is like some kind of core, like he's almost filling up the core form, fill, whatever it is, from the, you know, from the vegetation. And you can see him pretty good, right? Well, look in the middle. It's like a whole scene where right here is something. You can see the guy right there in the middle of this little trap looking thing. Like he has this thing on a stage and this light is coming down and this thing is trapped. And if you look just underneath him, you can just see how he's trapped. And this guy right here to the right, he's just like that mean, nasty, that guy, like, we're standing on top of you, you know, we're trying here to witness it. And I think there's a few other ones around. Yeah, like see this guy underneath there, he's underneath it, and just a whole bunch of action going on here. But just look at just amazing how that turned out and how all of this turned out in one video. So when you're doing your videograph projects or you're looking at other things, I know I say that black things and bushes turn. They always do. It could be a leaf, or it could be anything. It probably was. But this camera has a Dolby vision, and sometimes it takes the pictures. They don't always translate right. Sometimes the Google actually saved it for me. Even right next to him, you can almost see like this lady right here. So there's a guy and like this lady, and this thing's stuck in here. This thing's like performing this ritual looking thing. I mean, the whole clan is just right there. And I don't mean to be copying any or repeating, but it's just truly amazing because almost 4 times I'd watched videos and got information from them and went out and tried different things, and it was happening. So this guy here, he's really, really neat. So as you can see, I have a whole lot of great color up in this picture here. It actually looks better recording it than what I'm actually seeing on the screen. But you can see down here in the water this old face, that ghostly looking face, like this guy's lost, almost like it's some kind of like toxic chemicals that are down here or something, you know, and he's in there. So you got this whole scene. I'll just go back on out to it. And this was just an amazing round because if you're sitting here looking at this, and I did this on purpose, I looked away, but just look at all the color in there, and look at all that detail when I had cropped and zoomed of things that I had found in the background. But these things have black eyes. Okay, they have black eyes. Now, apparently, the Bigfoot guy, he says that he thinks they might be aliens or have some kind of power and they're connected. I would assume that people cannot see this, and you can only see that if you're living in the realm of where they are, like it's a fantasy land. But you can see him, and again, for some reason, that white, just glowing power in there, and that tail tied up like some kind of device. And this guy, for some reason, the stick right through his nose. It also looks like it's kind of tied up. But look at that top. It looks like a freaking propeller. And his hat and his 2 big eyes like a big frog man. So you have him and you have him. And just don't tell me that's just not paranormal. If not, then what is this guy? And the black eyes again. Why is it the black eyes? And there was a hiding one eye. There was hiding that one. See, this guy's trying to hide the one eye under a leaf. Right here. This guy over here is hiding it under a stick. But, you know, even this guy has the 2 black eyes, and it's one of them's under a stick. It almost even looks like there's a symbol on his hat, and he's got big old white eyelashes. I mean, it's looks like a gnome to me. And the guy and the whole ceremony, look at the witch next to him. It's just too strange how all this is connected, and the poor little thing trapped as this ritual thing comes down on this beam. It's probably the best way I describe this. This is just really neat stuff. I mean, this is just one of the best I've caught, and I actually have the same day right behind there. I mean, if you look, it almost looks like a real guy with hair back here with something around the two black eyes again. They're all in this little scene. The guy here, you see his chin? He looks like, the guy from Scary Movie. This witch looking thing. This little thing caught down here in this triangle. It's like circled 3 times. Again, the lights on there, the two black eyes right behind there. I mean, it's just, and this guy and this Y thing. What the heck is that? It's just really, really, really got to me. Seeing the magical magician shape. This little pirates looking guy down here. He's chilling out. And, in the water over here, we go along, we see this guy here. And then we got this banana. I mean, this is like a fantasy land of creatures. And you ever wonder those dreams where you see those movies and these creatures and how they thought of them? This is like those real creatures. The banana man. I mean, you seen him, right? There he is. How is this all real? So apparently my phone catches some really cool stuff every once in a while, and that's why I'm going to upgrade to a new one. I'm going to try to go with some more zooming in high def cameras. Hopefully find a better way to stay within storage. What happens, folks, and I do apologize, is that the OneDrive storage often says it's full. You have to keep deleting photos off your phone and whatnot. Well, I try to keep them. I also have to delete them sometimes. And I know the Google Drive does it all good for you, but then you have a problem downloading back to your computer, editing and doing like I'm doing now because the crop zoom in the Google does not work. Well, anyway, I'm not trying to get into all that, but I'm just staying at a point of what you can do with your videograph and video editing projects. So here it is again, I'm in my studio. I'm all the way back. I'm gonna go back just to show you. That's me, and I'll try to do it with my phone without cropping and zooming. Let's see if I can find the banana guy here. I think he is right up here, right there. Making a little face at me, isn't he? He's back there. Let's find my first guy over here. The white tail, the two black eyes. And somehow that face looks like it's sticking on the other side of the log. He's peeking around it. But this ninja guy's scaring me. He's probably got some swords. This whole thing going right up to his nose. And why they got the stick and the leaf right by their nose, it's a sign, I think, with the black eyes. Look at this guy down here. I mean, look at that guy in there. I've seen a few of my videos with that. I've done that. And then, like I said, I'm going to go all the way back here. I'll give you the full, there's my TV. And then we'll just, go ahead and go right down to the dwarf. And if you want to see fantasy lands, dwarves, and elves, and mythical creatures, then look at him. I don't know, but he's got the shape, and this cross on the hat just really kills me with the eyes and the hat, and then this Y at the bottom, and then just looks like an arm, and it just really kills me how he's got a cross on his hat. I mean, it just kills me. And you can't see how you can't really see him. He's gonna kind of fade away, but see if you see him, he's back in that video. But he's way. These guys, though, they're peeping up on me. And this isn't the side. He says the totem poles, and even the two sticks on the side looks like the base. The two trees looks like a basis for a totem pole. And this is why totem poles are invented with the faces stacked on top of each other. If that was a totem pole, if I were to make one out of the stick and carve it right now, it would be a really cool remembrance if I had a friend or somebody that knew how to do something. I always think about stuff like that, but just one, two, three, and then the whole thing. So, as I promised you, I'm gonna do another one with the elf. It's gonna be a little shorter, but now you understand what's going on with my zooming in videograph project. I think it's really awesome video. If you like to keep your mind open to other things, I don't know if I described the story correctly, but apparent to what I'm seeing with the hat, the whole thing, just looks like a ritual because if I had to go back into it, it man, the being the man and all that stuff, but you know this guy here, I mean, look at this setup. And he even said something about being on the stage. I think it was a guy in I think I keep saying New Zealand. I think I'm correct. And he looks like kind of like me, the blue eyes and just diligent and everything else. But look at that, just the way the light comes down, and then okay, you got the guy back here, the little guy in the middle, the guy here, the guy next to her, the guy here. There's probably millions of them in here. There's one. I mean, I looked around and stuff, and they just all didn't come out right, or they're not coming out through the back of the forest yet. Like they're not showing like their full swimsuit just quite yet because it's not in the picture. They're back in there somewhere, but you can almost see like it's almost like all in there, but it's not. It's like you can only see it if you're really in there. And I think that's what a lot of people have wrong about Sasquatches and other animals, and that's why I say we got to get into the feeling what you're believing. And so I get more deja vu and other experiences, and to me that's what makes it exciting. But the thing is, the more and more that you know about them, the better and better it should get, not the worst. But people think, oh, it's this big animal running around, and look at how much life is just in this little trail right behind me that I found. That they're in there, if there was anyone in there, because that same day on my trailer that I had done Big Bend, I showed a little foot sticking out. That is actually a piece of my next video that I'm going to go into, the whole picture. Like I said, I just had the crop and zoom, but that was all taken this day. Those photographs, and one of the photographs was in one of my trailers, just a piece of it that I zoomed in on because I saw this weird furry like leg sticking out. How the heck is it? The alien, and I see this and that and all this stuff in the same day. But I make my calls and my knocks and my woos, and I think every once in a while when I do that, I stir them up. I mean, I can make like loud, not like loud, but just like doing lots of them, and it will. And I always thought I started seeing them in the background, but I don't. I think that if they were amongst them, that they would see them, and that we were not. And I think that us as people, we got to look for them. They're in this world, in there. We're out here looking for them when they're living in these little areas, like it's a little heaven on earth. We're thinking that there's needs to be all this abundance of food while they're living smartly and within themselves. And maybe there's tons of animals that are missing. Maybe there's tons of raccoons and tons of possums that have been getting killed, and tons of turtles. And animals are doing that. I mean, lepers, everything else. They eat everything else. So you just, I mean, you just imagine the whole realm of you got to feel what you think at the time. It's not just, oh, okay, there's a video, here's a guy, he's going on vacation, and I'm doing a real project here, and um, I hope you guys see that I took my time here to really point some things out here. Here's the guy again. I love it. It's really cool. And then, I think there's another one down here, but this one down here is kind of scary. It looks like. So I don't know what your input is about, but I did talk about the formations. With all due respect, to Colorado Bigfoot and other people that have helped me along. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this video on Dazzle You. I look forward to more Bigfoot trailers and other videos too. This is my paranormal sequel to my Bigfoot series with the new gifting site for Trail Blocker. Trail Blocker is my series. This is my latest, and I really hope that you enjoyed my input of what we can do. Thank you.